As flesh and blood humans, we have little understanding of the spiritual world. It's very unfortunate that with the spiritual world, when we talk about the spiritual world, we cannot hear, we cannot see, we cannot feel, we cannot touch. But the interesting thing about spiritual world is that we can only zoom in to or have a glimpse about it based on what God says about it in the scripture. First of all, we need to understand the concept and the fact that God is spirit. According to the book of John, chapter number 4, verse 24, we need to understand the fact that God does not exist in time. God is not bound by time, space, and matter, and his home is called heaven. In the book of Acts, chapter number 7, verse 55, and in the book of Isaiah, chapter number 63, verse 15. We need to realize that the heaven I mentioned now is distinct. It shouldn't be confused with the heavens, referring to the atmosphere. When you raise your head up and you look up, you are looking at the atmosphere, which was created in the book of Genesis, chapter number 1, verse 1. When God created what? The heavens and the earth. So that the heavens is referred to as well the atmosphere. Or another heavens I'm going to be mentioning here are the heavenly realms. So you notice I've mentioned three heavens. Heavens, where God's throne is, the heavens, the atmosphere, and the heavenly realms, which encompasses all spirit beings. So I'm going to be focusing more on the heavenly realms. Now, in God's heaven, God is seated on a throne, according to the book of Matthew, chapter number 23, verse 22. In God's heaven, God is surrounded by adoring angels, as written in the book of Revelation, chapter number 7, verse 11. 2 years ago, I spoke about angels, that, angels has ranks, and some of them are in the throne room. I spoke about seraphim. Angel seraphim has 6 wings. And also I mentioned the fact that, there are cherubims, angels. I remember from the book of Revelation, one has the head of lion, of a man, of an ox, of an eagle. Okay. So angels have the ability to appear as men, and they have the ability to deliver messages from God, as written in the book of Genesis, chapter number 18, verse 2, and the book of Daniel, chapter number 10, reading from verses 5 to 6. Now, I mentioned I'm going to be focusing more on the heavenly realms or the celestial realms. The word heavenly realms or celestial realms is used several times in the Bible, especially in the book of Ephesians. We saw from the book of Ephesians, chapter number 1, verse 3, the book of Ephesians, chapter number 2, verse 6, the book of Ephesians, chapter number 3, verse 10, and the book of Ephesians, chapter number 6, verse 12. This phrase is translated from the Greek word epuranios, meaning the sphere of spiritual activities. The sphere of spiritual activities. Heavenly realms can refer to both angelic and demonic realms. Angelic and demonic realms. The book of Ephesians, chapter number 1, verse 20 says that God raised Christ from the dead and seated him at the right hand in the heavenly realms. But this same book of Ephesians, chapter number 6, verse 12, speaks of evil forces in this realm. It mentions the fact that our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. So the Bible is trying to say that your spiritual battles, when someone do you wrong, when someone do something stupid to you, there is usually a spirit behind it that is controlling them. Your battles is not against that person. Your battles is not against flesh and blood, but against the spiritual forces, okay, in the heavenly realms. In the heavenly realms. For proper understanding, let's zoom